All right, going into this game, on the blue team we have Team SparksVTuber, and on the red side we have Team Fufuyu. For those wondering, as just quick little tidbits of information, I had tacos and a quesadilla for dinner, so that's why my hands were dirty. If they end up watching this VOD, oh well. That's how we start off this video. But now that I'm fed, I'm well suited and fueled up, ready for this game and the following games for the rest of the night. Alright, but first, picks and bans. Asol being banned away, as well as Kaisa. Kaisa, top tier AD carry right now. J4 also getting banned away. I would feel like that's more of a comfort pick. J4 isn't, again, the strongest. Same with Lulu. Lulu's alright. Has been not as powerful as she once was, but still powerful in the right hands, especially with the buffs and slows, especially with that polymorph. Very, very strong ability. But what is Sparks else going to be banning? This is going to be a great topic to Morgana. So usually Morganas aren't banned unless one, there's a comfort pick, or they are willing to pick and engage support bottom. Morgana bans aren't that common in my opinion, unless they have absolutely want to play against it and they want to play a kill lane. Usually an engage support more often than not, which is, you know, let's say a Leona, a Thresh, a Nautilus, even a Pyke in some cases. And even against some kill supports, let's say like Brand or Vel'Koz, but you know, those haven't been too relevant in the past few seasons, but still applicable. Katarina first pick. All right, Sparks picking up the Katarina. But yeah, Katarina first pick. That's a very bold first pick because usually Katarina isn't a champion that you would want to feel comfortable first picking. Not that there are a lot of counters, but you can definitely pick around it. Ashe, definitely a good pick against Katarina. Enchanted Crystal Arrow, definitely something to stop that Blossom, the Death Blossom that is Katarina's ultimate. And a Seraphine, so Team Fufuyu picking a very strong, immobile, but CC utility heavy bot lane in the Ashe and the Seraphine. Amumu probably looking to be its support. Oh, but the Leona hover? Is this an Amumu jungle? Mayhaps. But they are throwing something. Amumu might be the support, in fact, that Morgana was banned, but Mr. Yeez is hovering a bunch of supports. Is this what the Morgana ban was for? It is! So, telegraphing their pick a little bit, preventing the CC in the bot lane. They are going to go for a kill lane. So now, what are they going to pick against an Ashe and a Seraphine? If Nautilus gets one hook in, if not poked out, that lane can go either direction. Vex in the mid lane, we've seen, not the first Vex we've seen tonight. So that is going to be a very interesting pick. Lots of CC and utility coming out of Fufuyu. You have very good co-streaming, by the way. Very fun to watch you. Oh, I appreciate that. Rose Trox, or in-game, or Rose. I appreciate it. I've been trying my best in the past couple of years to just work on it, and yeah, it's a lot of insight. So both playing the game, learning from my friends, and just emulating what I hear and see on professional casting. I also do voice acting on the side. Try to emphasize my enunciation. I know my pronunciation today has not been the greatest. Been stumbling my words a little bit more than often, trying to go a little bit too fast for my own sake. But going into the bans, we see Ornn, Rek'Sai, Darius, and Mordekaiser. So both teams drafting, or banning rather, top lane champions, and Wukong's going to be picked up. That could be jungle and could be top lane. I would say that's more of a jungle pick now, with Wukong being half changed, and the set hover by Peaceful Sleep. So again, this is going to be a lot of close range battling for Team SparksVTuber. Set, pull him in. Nautilus, hook him in. Amumu, stay right where you are for Katarina to just pop off, and Set to follow up with his Haymaker. And Tristana to keep it all safe. Stay at range. If you can't get through our front line, how are you going to get to this Tristana? A relatively safe comp as long as they don't fall behind, although they do have some comeback potential. But the Ivern getting back in meta this patch. I was gonna say this season, this patch. So Ivern's gonna be a interesting pick. What I'm worried about, looking at these team comps. So now that we have just over 3 minutes to discuss this, right? Let's discuss team comps, everyone. So I've discussed a lot about Team SparksVTuber on the left side, on the blue team. They have their degree of difficulty isn't too hard as long as they can catch someone. They can catch one, disengage, and do that. But what does Team Fufuyu have? They have a lot of long-range CC. Ashe volley slow. They have the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, Seraphine ultimate, and not in even the double passive route. Vex, the ultimate and the Fear. And Wukong, the double ultimate to get the multi-man knockup to follow up. But here's the issue. Because they are longer range CC, they are also more prone to miss those skill shots. Those could be the difference in this game. But they have a lot of utility with the Ivern. Be able to share those buffs a little bit better in the mid game. Ivern with a more unique clear in the jungle. But the issue that I see, Ashe did just get a buff on this patch, right? Buff on the passive, buff on the volley, and buff on the ultimate damage. Will that be the game changer that pushes them over the edge as Ashe Seraphine against this Nautilus Tristana potential kill lane coming from Team SparksVTuber on the blue team, right? So we have to look at this. There's a lot of CC on both sides, but it's a matter of who's going to push the advantage, right? I would give this a slight advantage to... Actually, it's hard to say the advantage, because a wombo combo out of Team Sparks, I think, is a greater wombo combo than Team Fufuyu, right? Will you be posting VODs asking for a friend? Yes, I will be posting VODs. Unfortunately, I was unable to record the first game due to technical difficulties. The first game that I casted, which I believe was... The first game that I casted was Volatility and Sorachi Seraph. But I will be posting Sorachi Seraph versus Yatosuke on YouTube. So, Sorachi Seraph, thank you for coming by, and thank you for the games. Good job on making it out of the group. You get a great rest, or do have fun with whatever you are doing. No problem casting your games. I hope to see you again. Maybe I'll stop by your streams as well. So enjoy that. Have a great rest of your night. Yeah, I should drop a follow right now before I forget. There you go, Sorachi Seraph. Have fun with the stream. Thank you. But yes, but if you going back to Champion Select, right? Even though they do have a wombo combo with the Seraphine, the Ashe Engage, the Vex, the degree of difficulty to land all that CC in succession becomes a little bit harder. But the Seraphine ultimate is going to be the game changer mid game. Why do I say that? Going back to the original point, Nautilus set Amumu point blank CC, right? They're going to be in your face. That is easy pickings for a Seraphine to counter engage. If you have the ultimate land on the first person who's point blank, that gives an automatic extension range to the ultimate. That could cause a ripple effect, a literal ripple effect amongst the team if they do not play around that smartly. Followed by a Wukong, they might just get on your backline and the fight is over. So now it's just dependent on the not just the CC, but the follow-up damage on it. So hopefully we get loaded into the game. We don't get another spectator bug. But in case we do, I will have that prepped. Oh, actually no bug? That's crazy. That's crazy. All right. First game of the night that it's not bugged out. Let's go ahead and adjust the scoreboard. All right. Coming into this game, we do, once again, introducing the teams. Let's go ahead and pause the music. On the blue team, on Team SparksVTuber, Peaceful Sleep, set top lane. Gricio on a Mumu jungle. SparksVT, captain on Katarina mid. I'm your senpai, Tristana 80 carry. Mr. Yeezus on Nautilus support. And playing on the red side is Team Fufuyu. Mr. Bacon for the win. Wukong top. Poomlol 2. Ivern jungle. Azur 50. Oh, SS, not 55. Azur SS. Vex mid lane. Fufuyu captain on Ash 80 carry. And Yeri Neko on Seraphine support. So we're gonna zoom out and make sure we can see everything there is to see. I know League actually working. What? That's so crazy. Now the VOD isn't cringe. Oh, but now what I've just realized, I've introduced them incorrectly. This is a top lane Ivern and a jungle Wukong. I forgot I said jungle Wukong, but I thought what's with the Ivern that it was jungle. In fact, it was incorrect. So Poomlol 2, actually with the mix-up, not sure if there was on their champion select, if that was on their data, but that is going to be a very interesting pick. Ivern top lane, the Daisy. So Ivern actually might do much more damage, especially with the Daisy. The 3 auto knockup is going to be huge in the CC chain. That is Team Fufuyu's combo in the mid game once they have all their ultimates. But yeah, it doesn't look like there's anything out of the ordinary. Both bot lanes leashing for their respective junglers. And going off to the top side, they might look for a 3.5-minute gank towards the top side. Poomlol showing what the power of Ivern is. The auto attack against a melee range top laner that is set. So let's focus on this matchup just a little bit more. Poomlol managing to not just auto range, but able to push that wave into the turret. With the timing that is the jungle clearing and being able to clash. Oh, but the auto attack, what a huge flash and stun. Knock up read by Peaceful Sleep. Poomlol playing a little bit too telegraphed there. First blood going over to Peaceful Sleep. Wow, well played. But yeah, as I was saying, that's the danger of that. Even though Ivern was able to push that lane, that is the danger of playing a ranged matchup into a bruiser top lane, as I was just about to get to. But, you know, we'll see. Poomlol did have to burn the teleport, but Azur trying to go all in on SparksVT, the fear, the ignite, and the last range auto. SparksVT trying to go all in trade, but that isn't going to do much. Gricio trying to go in and collect the skull for himself. Mr. Bacon just trying to give him a little bit of harass. Say, how you doing, my fellow jungler? My fellow young people? But yes, it's going to be a trade of kills for the separate mid lane, or separate solo laners, I should rather say. But here comes Poomlol, pushing the lane in. That's going to be a huge gank coming in. They know Poomlol still has flash, lands the bandage toss, but is he going to get the clap? Flashes out of the clap. Poomlol is going to get caught by the second bandage toss, but no more CC. That is the flash. One more auto. Is it going to be enough? No, Grisu now is at potential range. He does have the flash for a outplay shield. Isn't going to be enough. But Poomlol now in a bad position. If we look at this wave, let's go for some educational League of Legends now. the wave is pushing towards, but that was Peaceful Sleep's decision. There's the flash going into Grisu. Pumlal misses the root. The seedling shield is gonna pop, and Gricio gonna get that one. Solo kill, because that was quite a delay between the previous engages. So now, Pumlal 2 making this iron pick look a little bit more questionable than it should have. But here comes Mr. Yeezus trying to go for the engage. Mr. Bacon is there. They're gonna go for the root. Mr. Yeezus has to flash out. Heal used by I'm Your Senpai as well. So it's gonna be a flash and heal for that in-lane gank, but no kill. But they, again, similar to what we had to say about Pumlal, the wave is being pushed in and not in a good spot. Now that they have 2 of their summoner spells used, it's not in a good spot to have the wave pushed in. That jungler could still be there. Yeri Neko still knows this, playing not necessarily aggressive up front, doesn't want to get hooked up again. If you get hooked up again, that could obviously change the summoner spell situation. But now you're just at risk of potentially getting ganked. Mr. Bacon clearing out the bot side jungle right now might be looking for a second gank bottom. And they are going to be calling for a potential gank. We'll see, because there is nothing else on the bot side for Mr. Bacon to clear, not even a Scuttle Crab. So it looks like they are going to be looking for a potential gank once more, but it is warded. War on both sides. Blue team now has vision on Mr. Bacon. But yeah, there's a bunch to consider here. Right now, 700k gold lead, mostly from the top lane ganks and kills, but we'll see what happens. Peaceful Sleep, getting able to clap onto Poom, gets the haymaker, but the shield is going to stop majority of that damage. Fairly even trade, about 60% for each champion. So this is looking like a more of a slow burn game. I'm Your Senpai, Mr. Yeezus, not able to find that killing potential despite the Morgana ban in pick and ban phase. So enough about the game, for not necessarily enough about the game, but as the game is a bit of a slow pace, let's talk about the tournament, right? Why I'm here, because I can do that. I'm the shoutcaster. You guys can mute me if you want. I don't care. Oh, Daisy being used by Pumlal. But yeah, I'm actually a shoutcaster brought in from another one of the communities that was here, and glad to be able to shoutcast. Solo casting with Yua and Kane on their own channels, being able to support them as well. But Pumlal looking for a potential, just dropping Daisy for more so of the poke more than anything else. Quite interesting. But Azure SS sitting on a ward, doesn't quite realize it yet, so Peaceful Sleep. Azure using a lot of time, goes for the ultimate. Azure gonna go for the ultimate stun, but it is not going to be enough by Peaceful Sleep to use that ultimate in reverse to drag that Vex back to the turret, and that's gonna be a kill over to Azure. Despite being on a ward, was still able to get that kill. But now Azure being caught in the rotation, stun, stun, and stun. That is what Amumu does. Gricio getting that kill, handing that kill over to himself with a little assist from Sparks on the Katarina mid lane. So Azure just able to get the kill again, like I said. But the thing was, they were standing on a ward the whole time. SparksVTuber team knew exactly where it was and just absolutely just full engage it. As the game pace is this slow with the bandage toss and the Curse of the Sad Mummy ultimate, they say why not? Every kill at this point is worth twice as much. If you can get an advantage both in XP and in gold, why not use your abilities? Your abilities will be on cooldown. Best to use it and get any advantage as you can. Not saying be greedy, but be smart. Be resourceful. But a hook. I saw that hook coming from Mr. Yeezus. Depth charge is going to be used, but there's the point blank Seraphine ultimate. But I'm Your Senpai uses the explosive charge, and it gonna hop away to safety, and that should be a double kill. Actually, a 2 for 0. And one kill going over to I'm Your Senpai, and then another going over to Mr. Yeezus. That's going to be a 2 for 0. Great engage by Mr. Yeezus. Saw that hook, like I said. It's going to be a wide open, long range engage with the hook. Not able to do much, but here comes Mr. Bacon and Pumal. Here comes the power of Daisy. The 3-man knockup. The spinning knockup ultimate of the Wukong jungle. And that's going to take Peaceful Sleep down to 1 and 2. So here we're seeing, like I said, the chain CC from Daisy top lane. Poom can use that at will, pretty much on cooldown. That's basically not even just another minion, but it feels like another champion that you have to play against. The triple hit knockup, plus the slow and damage from the Ivern regular spells, and then you can't even kill it right away because it has basically 1000 HP. You can't kite that as a melee. So what an interesting counter pick by Poomlaw. Already has most of the turret plating gold. So if you look at the gold, Poomlaw 4,200 compared to the 3,100 of Peaceful Sleep on the set. So good for them being able to make it up. The gold difference between the jungles and the top laners. So we'll see how that plays out going into the mid game. First dragon of the game, it's going to be the Mountain Drake, secured by the higher priority bot lane of Team SparksVTuber. Did I say V-Sparks? SparksVTuber. I apologize. But again, it's going to be the mid game. I'm not expecting Team Fufuyu to win this bot lane matchup straight up. What the beauty of Ashe is the mid game power of the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. That arrow, being a global ultimate, can stun the longer it flies at a maximum of about 3 seconds, I believe, at any rank? 2 seconds at rank 1? I could be wrong. I could check that, but I'm too lazy to. But here comes Azure punishing Sparks to go for the all-in. Mr. Bacon there in the pocket as well, just in case Sparks didn't want to flash out. Would have gotten flashed on, but they're going to be shoving this wave in, threatening the dive with the Herald. But here comes Grisio. That's going to be a huge Curse of the Sad Mummy. So it's going to be a trade. I don't even think I'm not sure if they get the gold for that on the turret plating because they were dead. So that might actually be huge swing of gold. I believe it was. They are up higher gold than they were before that. So well played. Great read by Grisio, and mental tenacity by Sparks to hold their ground and continue to hold lane, knowing that their jungler was going to be in the pocket ready for that engage in case they pushed for a dive. So, well, good read coming out of Grisio. But here comes Grisio once more, going to top lane. Poom has to use the Daisy early, roots up the Mumu, but it is not going to be enough. Double bandage shots is going to lock up Poom, the ignite, but the shield, it could be huge, but it is going to be the flash ultimate coming out of the set. Let's make sure it is the showstopper. Wow, flash ultimate. So another great gank by Grisio. Despite the kill score being 8-3, now getting a plate for himself in top lane, the gold isn't as big as you would think. But here comes the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, doesn't land it. They're trying to force something. That was the utility I was talking about. They weren't able to force it. But here comes Poomlaw. Doesn't have the ultimate, but is feeling confident against this matchup. Azure trying to punish Sparks once again for the CC. That's a great counter pick in this matchup. Katarina being a melee carry in the mid lane. If she gets CC'd, very vulnerable. One way in and maybe one way out. Maybe. I say maybe. Sometimes you aren't able to flash out, but Sparks is able to just walk away from that one. So, let's look at the objectives. Dragon is up in 10 seconds. I believe both teams want to be playing for that. The vision has yet to be placed down for either team. Just a Scuttle Crab for the top lane. Neither top laners have teleport. Pumal has teleport the summoner spell, not available. Perfect sleep. Looks like he is walking down, posturing potentially for the dragon mid lane fight. But we'll see. Sparks trying to continue to push this lane. Is a level up on Azure. So they know where it is. And here's the thing. Continuing with the bot lane pressure of Tristana and Nautilus, they will almost always have priority with Tristana passive and having that kill pressure early. That kill pressure is pretty much just almost a perma push, almost, at this point in the game. It's going to be real hard to kill that Nautilus if you can't kill that Tristana first. Because Ashe Seraphine, you're not going to be killing that Nautilus first. I don't care what you say as long as that Tristana's there with a heal. Because you also don't have Ignite on your side. If you look at the summoner spells of Fufuyu and Yurineko, you only have an Exhaust and a Cleanse. They're more defensive spells rather than offensive spells. They are not going to go for it. Peaceful Sleep has to use the Haymaker and the Clap defensively against Pumal. Knowing that Pumal has the jungler in the pocket, they are posturing a dive. Potential knockup is not going to get it. But now that there is no more pressure from the top lane, it looks like Team Sparks, knowing that the enemy jungler is on the top side, is going to be posturing for that dragon. That's going to be their second dragon game, 16 minutes in. Pumal out of mana for the time being. Doesn't seem to be able to posture for a dive. Enchanted Crystal Arrow used to more of a scouting. Potential steal. Hawk Shot. Probably not worth it with a 1 minute cooldown. And they know they're not going to be able to fight anytime soon. But yeah, this is going to be very, like I said, slow burn game. People aren't necessarily rotating out of their lanes. Support staying in their lanes, not forcing anything mid, except for that one missed Enchanted Crystal Arrow, which is a very good trade. But other than that, there hasn't been much action outside of the junglers being involved. The double kill or the 2-for-0, we saw bot lane, but yeah, it's gonna be a long laning phase. But once these turrets start falling, this Tristana is gonna start using that explosive charge. The Ashe arrow is finally gonna get out of lane. It's gonna be a much faster paced game in about I would say in 5 minutes, but no, if they were going to be an explosive game, it would have been fought over the dragon. Grisio, not in a great spot. Ultimates being used. Grisio is not tanky quite yet. Has to use the Bandit Toss and the Curse of the Sad Mummy early. Mr. Bacon trying to go for it. Has to use the ultimate instead and switch it. The Grand Show. I already forgot the name. The Showstopper. And the Clap once again. The Haymaker follow-up. Double kill for Peaceful Sleep. So that's going to push the gold lead. So that's going to be the difference between an all-in versus that slow push and prod that is the Ivern top lane. So 4-2-0 coming up back from that deficit of 1-2 earlier in this game. Peaceful Sleep continuing to make this game about the junglers. Ooh, ultimate coming out of the Seraphine, but isn't going to be too much. They still have the ultimate. Oh, but it's going to be slightly a disjointed fight. Nautilus goes in, not seeing that his Tristana is already out. So this is the one chance that Team Fufuyu has to get a kill bot lane. But here comes the TP. Here's the explosion of a fight. There isn't enough damage for this Ashe to get in, but it's going to be an Ivern. Ivern is not a tank, but here comes Master Bacon. Shutdown for the Ashe onto the Katarina. I'm Your Senpai is going to get shut down. That's two big shutdowns going for this Ashe in favor. Shutdown again going over to a bot laner. This time it's going to be Yurineko. And that's going to be 3 huge shutdowns and potentially this turret as well. Peaceful Sleep looking for a potential 3v1. He's going to get all 3 of a clap. There's the Haymaker, the Iron Whip Spike, and the Showstopper. Triple kill for Peaceful Sleep. Getting all 3. They say shut down, try to shut me down. And that is the power of Set when he is ahead. Now this set is 7-2-0. And now it's going to be an issue of why stop the Katarina? Why stop the Tristana? You have now a fed Set in front of you. Can you shred down this Set? Set is usually not pretty bursty considering that he will have that Haymaker shield coming out of his W. So they don't have anyone bursty to bait out that W early. No assassins. And Ashe, again, not the biggest DPS carry. They, like I said, they buffed their passive, so they does a little bit more damage on the slow with their auto attacks. But I don't know if it'll be enough to not only chew through this set, but after the fact, let's say you do get through that set, you still have to bust through an AP semi hybrid build Tankamumu, and then you have to bust through a Nautilus to get through to a Katarina and a Tristana. So now it's about who's going to use their utility and who pulls the trigger first. That's going to be huge in this game. Like I said, CC wins games, everyone. CC wins games. You lock down your opponent early, keep them down mid lane. You want to come back, use more of your CC with numbers advantage, and you bring that game closer back to if you are down. Azure using the ultimate, poking down. Wow, Enchanted Crystal Arrow is going to land. That was not intentional. Azure actually picks up the kill. The Seraphine ultimate, Azure actually ends up using the stopwatch. Not sure if that was necessary, but uses the dash once again to stop it. There is the CC. Like I said, CC wins games. Shutdown for the Ashe. That is a huge amount of gold in Fufuyu's pocket. That's been 3 shutdowns for this Ashe from the bot lane fight earlier, and now the shutdown on that set as well. Dragon is spawning up in the next 5 seconds, so this is going to be huge for them to get back to this game. It's going to be a Hextech Dragon, so with the attack speed, Fufuyu would love that for the Ashe, but let's see what they decide to do. A Mumu potentially to look for the fight. Let's see if they decide to dive for it. Hex Flash not available. I believe it is available. Ultimate is going to go in, but a nice smite by the Wukong. Grisio trying to go in, knock up on Nihilus, but they don't have enough damage. There's going to be just burning to the ground. A double kill going over to Azure, and another kill for Mr. Bacon. 3-for-0 plus a dragon, but oh no, here comes SparksVTuber randomly walking in. The fight was over, potentially looking for a cleanup. Mr. Bacon says, no way, Jose, I'm gonna live with the red buff healing and the passive healing. That's gonna be a 4-for-0. Mr. Bacon walks away with his life. And absolutely a huge swing in the game. It was an interesting commit to send not only the Amumu in, but you sent the SparksVTuber team, decided to send their AD carry and the support into that fight. So what was interesting about that, it was like, you could just lose your jungler and you can lose a dragon, you can stop the bleeding. You did not have your top laner at the time, and you did not have your mid laner. So macro wise, it was a bit of a questionable call. And the thing with that, your AD carry suddenly doesn't have a front line because your Nautilus is in the pit. Your Amumu already ulted for the dragon. What CC do you have left? Here comes Mr. Yeezus, has to dredge line and flash out there. Enchanted Crystal Arrow following with CC. That's not going to be a good dredge line out either. It's going to be another stun heal coming out of the Tristana to potentially save a support, but it's not going to be enough. Fufuyu picking up that one. 4, 6, and 2 on this Ashe after getting out of lane, having a bit of a rough time, getting a lot of this shutdown gold. If we look right now, earlier this game, Fufuyu was actually down 500 gold. Now, Fufuyu on the Ashe is actually up 1,200 on their counterpart. So that's going to be interesting. Now this Ashe has the CC, has the support around him. This was the macro call. It was the first team to group up and use the CC against their opponent. Oh, Yeri Neko, a bit of a lag spike? Question mark? Going onto Peaceful Sleep. Peaceful Sleep going in. 1v3, trying to be the hero play once again, but they aren't low health. What's the call? Daisy getting a knock up to 2. Sparks not able to do anything at a sliver of HP, but here comes the Mr. Bacon actually baits out the showstopper ultimate of the set onto the Wukong clone. Fufuyu sends out the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, and Mr. Pai has, Mr. Senpai, not Mr. I'm your Senpai, has to flash out, but Fufuyu now alone doesn't have the jump available. Mr. Senpai probably wishes that they could go in, does rocket jump in, Fufuyu flashing out, now knowing that there is no support coming from the rest of Team Fufuyu. All right, so a turret. That's gonna be the 4th turret of the game. So it came from a 2,000 gold swing. Now they've picked it up. Sparks going for the Katarina. Oh, but Azur, again, just a little too fed. If the scoreline and gold was a little bit more even, maybe that could have gone Sparks' way. Azur just a little bit too much. The fear coming in clutch along with the shield to block some of that damage. And that's going to be a solo bolo kill for Azur. And along with myself, I hope everyone takes care of themselves, be able to take a good deep breath and a sip of water if you wish. Stay hydrated, everyone. But yes, this is very the opposite of what it was earlier. The kill score looking very even, but the gold is what you can't, these players cannot see directly. This gold difference of 4K. Now it's a matter of, will SparksVTuber be able to recognize and get that team fight that they want? They have yet to fight as a full 5 with the Amumu, the Nautilus, and the Set. They've been broken skirmishes that Team Fufuyu has been able to pick and absolutely push the pace on that, because, like I said, if they're able to stop one, what's stopping them from getting more after the fact? So Dragon is up in 30 seconds. There is a bit of a fight here. Poomlal trying to go in. He has to use Daisy defensively there. Is able to get out nearly scot-free. And Mr. Yeezus actually taking half HP. But yeah, Dragon is up in 10 seconds. This health differential might make the difference. Ultimates are ready. This might be the fight that Team SparksVTuber is looking for. They have vision in the pit. Let's see who decides to start the fight. Everyone is being seen on wards right now. There is no secret. Hawkshot is available to it. Grisio not doing much. Hawkshot, there it is. They see the entirety of Team SparksVTuber. Not starting the Dragon. They are baiting it out. If they say, if you want to fight, then fight on our terms. We'll kite you out. And they know teleport coming out of Poom. He does not have the Daisy available. That's going to be the huge difference. There it is. Short cooldown enough. Has to use it early. Shocks once again. Seraphine ultimate hits 4. That's going to be huge. Peaceful Sleep has to go in. But the Wukong is absolutely destroying the back line. The Amumu ult only hits the one of Fufuyu. And that is going to be an ace in favor of Team Fufuyu and the second Dragon for them. Just as they pull the trigger, Team Fufuyu knows what they wanted. They came and they took it. With the ace, 27 minutes in, that's also going to be the Baron buff. What a very clean engage. So again, this was, just have to reiterate, this CC, whoever pulls the trigger first as a coordinated stack is more likely to win these games. Wasn't advisable for SparksVTuber to wait in the bush. You're the one who has to engage. You're the one with the point blank Amumu ultimate, set stun and ultimate, and the Nautilus. You cannot be the one to get engaged on first. That's what we saw with the Seraphine ultimate, the Ash arrow, and even the poking and prodding of the Ivern Daisy. And they paid dearly for their life. Let's see if they're able to adjust and make these adjustments going in to the mid to late game. But we'll see. Let's look at the gold advantage right now. It's going to be a 9k gold advantage in favor of Team Fufuyu. A lot of that gold going in favor of Fufuyu on the 80 carry, the captain, and the mid laner. That's like 3,000 to 4,000 difference. Pretty much all across the board, positional wise, they are beating their golden counterpart by about at least 1,000 to 1,500. So everything is no gold overinflated on any single individual on Team Fufuyu. But let's see what they decide to do. They're going for a 4-1 split, rotating between top and mid turret. There aren't much objectives since they already took the objective. So now, what is Team Fufuyu want to do? Educational time, once again, the 4-1 split. You want your waves to crash at similar times. So you have to be able to manage your wave, kill an enemy wave a little bit slower, so that both your side lane of your carry or of your solo laner, most often your top or mid lane, makes enough room for your 4 or 3 core of your team to be able to push and put pressure. But here comes a potential fight right now. Mr. Bacon trying to look and trying to disengage. Mr. Yeezus not taking enough, taking a quarter of the HP, but here it goes. They're gonna be fighting. Peaceful Sleep wants to go all in. They know that Poom is by himself. Here's the all-in potential from the set. Is he able to get it just a little bit more? Doesn't get knocked up. The clap and the shutdown by Peaceful Sleep. 600 gold in his pocket, and it doesn't look like there's gonna be anything more bot lane. That's gonna kill the split push. So Peaceful Sleep, right? This goes back to the original Ivern versus Set matchup. Ivern, you all in him, you have, especially as Set as a bruiser, you definitely have a chance of winning, especially being ahead as you are as Peaceful Sleep is on the Set. The difference this time, Peaceful Sleep knew exactly where the enemy team was in bot lane and in the jungle, had the full confidence to go all in there and absolutely wreck that Ivern in a 1v1 situation. No longer allowing that push, because if the red team, Team Fufu, not fighting and not pressuring any turret, then the other 4v4 is not at risk of losing that fight. So they didn't have to take any risk there, so good on them. But this game is going to look like it's going to go quite long. Even with the Baron buff, they weren't able to get much. They were, I believe, one more turret is the top outer. But that Baron power play, not exactly what they were hoping for. But the next dragon, 40 seconds up. And I know these teams want to fight for it, especially for Team Fufuyu. Katsumi, hello. Welcome. But this dragon up in 30 seconds. Both teams are looking to fight for this. This might be the straw that breaks the camel's back, everyone. But as you can see, let's go ahead and just scroll over here. They are setting down vision here and here. And they are potentially going to look for the fight once again to recreate the magic that was the wombo combo that they got in the previous dragon fight. But here comes the Set coming down as well. We're going to do the dragon dance, everyone. Let's go into team fight view. No one is, it looks like they're ready. But here, and Poom is pushing top lane. They know this is a 4v5. They've taken the inhibitor turret. So now they're forcing the issue. Poomlol, AP, attack speed top laner. But a huge 3-man Seraphine ultimate and a 2-man knockup by the Wukong. But the blue team is winning this disjunctive fight for the moment. But here comes Fufuyu on the backside, able to take out the Katarina. And Peaceful Sleep is going to get that one, but it's going to be a 3-for-2. But Poom is just forcing the issue. There's no one to stop him. There's no one to stop Team Fufuyu in their base. And that's going to be the backdoor by an Ivern top lane. And the winner is Team Fufuyu.